Good morning, students. Today is Friday, February 5th, and today we're going to be studying Lesson 7, Comparing Fractions. On our next slide, this is your multiplication table that I always put in there for you to use as a resource if you need it to go back and check any multiplication facts that you need. And on the next couple slides, guys, this is, again, a place where you are able to put a picture of your work. So that means that if you're working in your binder or if you're working problems in your notebook, then your teacher needs to see your work. So you take pictures of your work and insert it into these slides. Our learning targets for today: I will expand my thinking of fractions by exploring how to model comparing fractions using number lines. I will create visual models and written explanations to explain my thinking. Our essential questions for this unit, guys, are remaining the same. We're just continuing to build upon them. Why might it be important to understand equivalence, and why is unit size important in mathematics? Vocabulary sprint. This is where, again, you're going to take notes on it. Now, some of these we've already taken down in your notebook, so you should have on some of our other lessons. And today we're going to add one more new word to it: compare. So we're adding compare to it. And I want you to write it down in your notebook. Compare means to examine the differences between numbers, quantities, or values to decide if it is greater than, smaller than, or equal to another quantity. Kind of like the comparison we have over here with the apples and oranges. They're being compared for their weight. And also we've got here fraction, which we took this one down at the very beginning of our fraction lessons several days ago. Part of a whole that is split into equal parts. Numerator, the top number in a fraction that represents the part. Denominator, which is the bottom number in a fraction that represents the number of equal parts the whole is broken up into. So go ahead and pause the video as often as you need to take down any notes here that you need. But you have to write them in your notebooks. These are important words. Okay, guys, so for the next few slides, we've got some comparing going on, but there's some videos that you're going to need to watch independently. So if you're watching this and you're doing this work independently, you're going to need to watch the videos on your own. So for this one, you're going to need to click right here, click in the video, and then you click right here, and you're going to be able to watch a short video just showing these two young ladies here who are eating apples. And then I want you to be in your notebook, once you watch it, I want you to consider this question and to write down whatever answer you may have for it. Which girl won by eating more of her apples? So after you watch the video, I want you to answer this question in your notebook. And when I go to the next slide, there are some other questions that I want you to consider and try to put it on a number line. So we're going to be comparing and trying to consider which girl eats the most. Now, when you continue on with our slides, there's another video here, a second video that I also want you to watch. It adds a little bit more than the first one. So you're going to click on this video and you're going to watch this one too. And when you watch it, I want you to consider the question here, and I want you to answer it in your notebook. What information do you need to answer this question? How much did each girl eat? And on this very next slide, after watching the video, you're going to have an opportunity to answer this one. I want you to answer this one in your notebook. How much did each girl eat? And I've already given you the fact that the bigger girl, she ate 10 out of 12 slices, and the younger girl ate 7 out of 8 slices. Okay, so when you look at a comparison model right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 7 out of 8. This was the younger girl who ate 7 out of 8 right here. And this is for the older girl. She ate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 12. So you got 7 out of 8, 10 out of 12. So which one is more? So when we look at the shaded in part, you can see that 7 out of 8, there's more shaded in than 10 out of 12. So the younger girl ate the most. So that should be your answer when you do your calculation. So the younger girl ate more. All right, and these just are some more questions that I want you to consider when you look at the last video. Okay, so for some independent practice, guys, we've got page 167. So for independent practice, page 167. So on page 167, you're going to be able to do it there, but I've also got this on a Jamboard. So on the Jamboard, you would be able to go to this one. Now I've got a few different things on here. So the number line in reference to the girls comparing and eating the apples, you can solve some of yours right here. But for our independent work, this is the same as page 167. So you got two brothers, Ian and Isaac, decided to have their own great apple eat-off. Ian cut his apple into 6 slices and ate 4 of them. Isaac cut his apple into 8 slices and ate 7 of them. Who ate more of their apple? So you're going to use a visual model to show you comparisons. And I've already got a number line here for you to work with. And on the next slide, Aditya and Ramon were training for a race. Aditya ran 2/3 of a mile and Ramon ran 5/6 of a mile. Who ran further? So go ahead and pause the video so that you can work on either page 167 or the Jamboard that I have here. And we'll talk about it in a few minutes, but go ahead and pause and work on them. On page 167, so the instructions told you to use a visual model. So it was your choice about which visual model that you use. You could use a number line. You could use models such as this, the tape diagram, or any other area model that you could use. So for here, you'll see I've just drawn what could be considered 2 apples, and I've got Isaac represented here. He ate 7 out of 8, and just keep in mind that I've got these circles the same size, and you'll look that I've got Ian ate 6 slices, ate 4 out of his 6. So Ian ate 4 out of his 6 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 6. So when you look at it, which one has more that's shaded in? So which one of these has more that's shaded in? So clearly it's going to be Isaac. So Isaac ate more. And for the next one, Ramon ran further. His was 2/3. So Ramon ran further. So 5 out of 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6. That's compared to 2 out of 3. So using the tape diagram, which is the same length, but it's divided into different equal parts, shows you that 5/6 is going to be bigger than 2/3. And also you can say that 2/3 is smaller than 5/6. On our next slide here, guys, I've got kind of a reflection sheet for you. This is just for you to rate your thoughts about today. So you're going to use the scale below to rate your understanding of the objective for this lesson, and you're going to place a number in the front. So our objective, one of our objectives today was to be able to expand your thinking of fractions by exploring how to model comparing fractions using number lines. 1, you did not understand it. 2, you kind of understood it. 3, you understand it, but you still have some questions. 4, you fully understand it. So whichever number applies to you, you're going to write it right here. And also I've got a place down here for you to write, to answer some more questions. What do you like most about this lesson? Just type it in there. What was the most challenging part of it for you? Type it right here. Just a little short answer. What questions do you still have about the lesson? Type those short answers in there. And lastly, just a reminder, if you did not complete the independent work on page 167, you're going to do that, and also the work on Dreambox.